let's go ahead and get started here. Thanks everyone for joining. Really appreciate your time in these troubling times. Lauren, if you want to go ahead and go to the next slide.
Sure.
So thanks everyone for joining. Today with me, my name is Cam Fillmore. I'm the Verkada channel sales manager here, and we also have on the line Lauren Spears, who's the account executive for Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming for Verkada, and Jace as well from Pine Cove Consulting. He's the marketing director. So just want to go over the speakers today. Want to go to the next slide, Lauren. And thank you everyone for joining. Today we're giving out coupon codes for Uber Eats, and don't worry if you don't have Uber Eats in your area. We'll also send you a Verkada Yeti tumbler. Just make sure that you have a valid company email, a phone number, and you're based in the US, UK, or Canada, and you just stay to the end because we're tracking you. And if you do get a Verkada Yeti tumbler, it's going to take a few weeks. I'm sure, as you guys know, shipping is a little delayed. But at the end of the webinar, we're also going to do a raffle for Verkada backpack, and it's a Timbuktu backpack. So yeah, stay on. You might get access to a backpack. Next slide. Cool. So the agenda today, we're going to go into a little bit about Pine Cove Consulting and how they can help you with virtual applications and remote applications outside of Verkada, as well as business ramifications that we're facing in the current environment. And Lauren's going to go ahead and give you guys a demonstration of our remote monitoring solution, and then we're going to wrap up with our extended free trial and live Q&A.
All right, my turn.
Yep.
Yeah, so most of you on the call probably know at least about us, Pine Cove, but I believe when I was looking at the registration, there's a few of you that we haven't worked with before, so I'll do a really brief introduction and then quickly hand it back to Verkada for the meat of the webinar. But we've actually been in business for 26 years now, started in Wyoming, and since then have slowly expanded to kind of the whole Rocky Mountain region and a few other states that aren't on the map as well. So it's been a long journey for us, and we're really proud to say that some of the people we worked with at the very beginning are still customers of ours today. So we really enjoy the customers that we work with and have a personal relationship with them. We partnered with Verkada last year in 2019, and we partnered with them because a lot of the environments we work in are more complex and require more complex solutions. And Verkada has just that, which Lauren will dive into a little bit. But talking about complex problems, that's kind of our specialty. We're more than just an IT fulfillment company. We have our own process that we work with each of our customers that sets us apart from other IT providers, that is also evidenced by the fact that we work in a lot of challenging environments such as school districts or airports or banks. Those types of environments can pose problems not just for physical security but for technology of all kinds. So that's kind of our bread and butter, and we take pride in the work we do in those tough environments. It's been nice this year to receive a little bit of recognition. You can see on those awards below that we were named one of CRN's top 500 managed service providers in 2020, as well as Channel Partners Excellence in Digital Services Award was for some cybersecurity work we did in Colorado. But yeah, it really comes back to the process that we employ when we enter an environment. Next slide, Lauren. So here is this process. Like I said, we're much more than just an IT fulfillment company. So if you're going to be successful in information technology, obviously there's more to it than a specific solution or project. So we kind of talk about this 5-step process that we use, which starts with analyzing your environment. Maybe that's an IT assessment to understand, what the challenges you're having are, or what bottlenecks you encounter. And then we really take the solution that you need and personalize it to your organization. So making sure it works both with your current technology and works with your budget. Obviously, then we deploy that, support it, and sustain it by offering a variety of payment plans and services to go on top of that solution. So there's the quick and dirty introduction to Pine Cove. I will just say a few other household things before we get started. I did mention this before, but there's a questions bar in the GoToWebinar sidebar that you can enter in any questions, and we'll get those answered throughout the webinar. We're also recording this webinar, and we'll have it out to you probably by tomorrow at the latest, hopefully today. And then I also put in the notes or the chat section on GoToWebinar a link to a case study we just did with Verkada. We've employed Verkada cameras and security across several of our customers, but this is a story of Townsend School District, one we worked with to put cameras in their school district. So kind of a cool application of Verkada you can see right now and how that worked. And then I will also finish by saying we try to do webinars on a monthly basis. So we have our next one scheduled for May 14th, and we're going to be talking about some of our support solutions. So keep your eye open on your email for that. We'll probably get invites out in the next week or so. And just want to thank you all again for coming, and don't hesitate to put any questions in the questions tab if you have any.
Perfect. So yeah, currently right now, I'm sure everyone's aware of the COVID-19 situation. Lots of business ramifications that are going on. We're all dealing with forced shutdowns. You know, non-essential business items are getting kind of pushed to the side, and you know, more of the essential items are being brought up. And not only that, but you know, companies are having to pivot their business strategy to address those, and from a remote standpoint, which can be challenging. And you know, Verkada, you know, we're built from remote first. So I'm going to go into next slide, Lauren. A little bit about Verkada. So Verkada is a platform. We make software. We also make embedded devices, design and manufacture those as well that go into physical locations. So any enterprise that has anything from cameras to access control to all the items you're seeing here. Verkada was built in order to view those specific things from a remote fashion. So control them from a tablet or a mobile device locally. Go ahead, next slide, Lauren. So I'm going to go into our cameras, which is our marquee product that we first released, and our camera is a little different than typical IP cameras. We have no DVRs, no MVRs. We actually store all the footage locally on the camera, and it actually can store up to 365 days of video storage. So this slide's a little outdated, but we also operate in a very bandwidth-friendly mode. So a lot of cameras, IP cameras that function in HD or high-def 4K cameras, they tend to bog down the network, and what we do is we send frames and metadata to the cloud at 1 frame for every 8 seconds. And so we're able to operate at about 20 kilobits per second, which is roughly the same size as an email on your network. So it doesn't matter whether you want to deploy 1 camera, 100 cameras, or 1,000 cameras. We're the most bandwidth friendly camera solution on the market, and we're able to view that through a centralized management platform. So Lauren's going to dive into that and how that works. So next slide.
All right.
Take it from here.
Okay, I'll jump over to Verkada. So hi everyone, my name is Lauren Spears. I'm the territory manager here at Verkada that oversees Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. And I'm going to walk you through our platform here today. So we call this Verkada Command. It's the web-based user interface that you can access all of your cameras, all of your sites, run analytics on the system. And my default landing page when I log into my Verkada account is this Google integrated map view of all of my cameras and all of my sites from one place. So for those of you that have multiple locations, this is a great way to see all of your cameras from one location. And for today's demo, I'll hone in on our main headquarters, which is in San Mateo, California, just about 15 miles south of San Francisco. So you can do a map view or a satellite view. You'll notice the first thing you'll see is that all of these cameras are green. That means the camera is online, it's healthy, and it's recording. So gone are the days where, normally with traditional security camera systems, if a camera goes down, there's no alert, there's no real-time way of knowing that this camera's been down. So if you go to look back on footage, you realize the camera that would have caught that incident may have been down for days or weeks, or you had no idea. But with a system like Verkada, that's not possible. You'll get a real-time alert anytime the camera goes down or is tampered with. It would also show up as a yellow or red icon here on the map. So every Verkada camera has a built-in accelerometer that will detect any sort of tampering event. So if the camera goes offline, or if someone's coming at the camera with a baseball bat or a rock, trying to hit it off of whatever it's mounted on, it will send you that alert in real time to the appropriate people. And then what you can also do, of course, is click into each of these and see a live view of what's going on around our headquarters. Pretty dead right now, given that we're all, forced to work from home. But before we look back into historic footage, I'll jump into our building floor plans. So this is a great way to get an enhanced visibility of all of your cameras mapped out over several different buildings or several different floors if you have any multi-level buildings. But ways that I see my customers using this is to understand, where do I have blind spots? Where do I need additional coverage? Or if there was, say, an incident that happened here in the middle of our cafeteria, it'd be very easy for me to pinpoint not only which camera would have caught that incident, but also which cameras lead into that part of the building. So I can kind of tell a story of what happened, who was involved, where did they go? And then if we wanted to click into, actually one more thing I'll highlight. The movement here, this is a brand new feature. It came out last week. So that's a pretty neat thing about Verkada as well, is anytime you come out with a new feature or functionality, it's pushed out automatically to our entire customer base for free as automatic firmware updates. You're constantly going to get the latest and greatest. And what this feature is doing here is actually showing me where there's movement. So that's human movement and activity in the lobby. Looks like there's some folks maybe crossing the street over here. Looks like there's a gentleman about to cross the street there. So pretty cool. So a good way to understand where there's movement, where there's activity across the building if you would like to. I'm going to jump into our front entrance camera here just to show you the variety of ways to search back for information and incidents. And so up top, it's about 10:15 here in the morning Pacific time in California. And then down here are 24-hour-long clips. So when it comes to scrubbing through footage, it's just a matter of moving your mouse from left to right. And if we chunk this down into something a bit more digestible, like 1 hour thumbnails, you can do that too. So if I move my mouse from left to right, you'll see these blue lines that pop up below. Kind of small if you're looking at from your laptop, but the blue lines indicates people. So it's a people counting feature. It puts a green bounding box around the people or person within the frame, and then it indicates that one digit, how many people are within the frame as well. So it's really easy to skip through the idle time and identify right when there's someone coming in and out or out of the building or walking on this public sidewalk. But a lot of times, if you're looking for something, you don't know when an incident happened. This is usually where I'll ask a customer, what type of incidents do you typically have to look back on, if any? And commonly I'll hear, student or employee altercations, items going missing, vandalism, break-ins, just wanting to monitor, an office and whatnot. So what you can do is a motion grid search. So if I just highlight this region of interest here, let's say I wanted to find every time someone was walking through this door over the last 30 days, it'll pop up all those results below. But a lot of cameras out there can do this. They can create a bounding box and search for motion. But what a lot of cameras can't do is filter that video for only people or vehicles. So in this case, you won't get any false positives, like if there was snow falling outside or if these leaves are ruffling in the wind. It's only going to look for human movement coming in and out of the building. And I'll click into one of these examples. Let's see who this is. Looks like someone's got their monitor with them. So a few things here. You can pause this video. You can watch it play frame by frame. You can adjust the speed, rewind or fast forward this clip. You can also digitally zoom in. So I can zoom in and see this person with a backpack on, wearing a polka dot shirt and some black and white shoes. Let's say I needed to save this video or send it to somebody for an investigation or to my legal team or to my senior management team or local law enforcement. You can do that just by hitting this little downward arrow in a box in the bottom left. That will archive this clip. So what's happening is the camera will take this clip from the solid state storage built into the camera, and we'll store it in the archive section where we host on AWS, Amazon Web Services, and that clip will live there indefinitely for forever until you choose to delete it. And there's no additional charge associated with archiving video. It's free and unlimited, so you can have 10,000 clips there from 10 years ago. You'll always be able to access it. And you can take a note. So I'll just say intruder. You can adjust the start time and the end time of this clip if you needed to as well. And then while that's archiving, one more thing I wanted to show you guys is that you can actually do a multi-camera playback. Because oftentimes, if there is an incident, usually it occurs across the view of multiple cameras. You wanted to see what kind of vehicle did this person drive up in? What did they have in their hands? Who did they talk to? So I'll go ahead and hit play. Looks like it's someone, and then I know that she's going to be coming into our hallway camera here. You can add that camera too. And it all just timestamps together so you can kind of tell a story and see what this person is doing. Oh, looks like she's not coming in. So now that I showed you that, I'm going to jump over to the archive section. So that one's still archiving. I'll click into this one then as an example. I'll give that one in another minute. So if I go ahead and hit play, the first thing you'll notice here is a timestamp and date that locates the camera and the site that the camera is located in. So this clip is court admissible if you needed it to be. As opposed to a lot of security camera systems out there where they only record based on motion, Verkada is truly enterprise grade. It's recording 24/7, so you can't miss anything. So it's, again, truly enterprise grade, completely court admissible if you needed it to be. And then I'm going to jump over to, let me zoom out. There we go. Okay, so a few other controls here on the right. You can delete this video if you don't need it any longer, if you don't want it in your archive section. You can take notes on this. Maybe I sent this to the police department. You can download this. It'll save it in an MP4 format to your desktop if you'd also like to save it locally. A lot of times what I hear from customers is that with their systems that they use today, if they want to save a video and send it to the appropriate person, they'll have to download that, burn it to a disk, or download it to a thumb drive, and then go physically deliver that. But especially in the wake of everything that's going on right now, people are definitely trying to move away from site-centric. It's difficult to travel or be anywhere. So having the opportunity to do something like this remotely is a total game changer. So that's why we've created this method for sharing out archive video. It makes it really easy and much more secure, because if you burn something to a disk or download it to a thumb drive and then send that out to the appropriate people, you kind of lose control after that. You don't know where it goes. You don't know if it might get lost or if it ends up in the wrong hands. What do you do? So for that reason, we've made this method where you can send a link of an archive video through text message or email. You can set the contact, you can set the expiration date, how long do you want this person to have access to this data for. So I'll go ahead and send an example. I'll just type in my name. And so I'll give it to myself for 1 week. I'll go ahead and hit send, and I will get that instantaneously. Oops. And you can also manage links. So if I go into the manage links section, this is where you can say, I don't want this person to have this for any longer. I'll revoke access. And then jumping over to sites and grids. So I'll jump over to the site section. So this is how you can get organized and strategic with how you name your cameras and how you name your sites. How we've done it here at Verkada, we've got our main site, which is HQ-Verkada, and then a subsite within that site is the first floor, second floor, and third floor. So we'll get into how you can provision access to specific sites and users and customize for permission sets and groups. You can get really granular with that, but this is just how we do it here. So this is at the admin level. What you can also do is customize a grid. So let's say I am the head of one of my locations, and I want to customize a grid so that I only see a select few cameras. So I'll go ahead and select some cameras here as an example, just to show you how easy it is to create a grid if you needed to. So I'll go ahead and hit done. And then you can have this rotate between all of these, and you'll see a live view of what's going on across all of your facilities all over the world. And then I'm going to jump over to our kitchen camera just to show you our live link sharing. So here we are. So similar to how you can send out an archive footage from the past, you can do that same thing through a similar method with a live video feed. So if there was an emergency going on, a fire, an active security threat in the building, and I needed to get this into the hands of my security team, local law enforcement, fire department, what better way than to give them access to your live camera feeds in the event that there is an emergency situation going on campus or on at one of your facilities. So just go ahead and type in that information, and I'll hit send.
I just want
You
to
can send
add that, Lauren, anyone who wants to have a live link shared with them right now, just go ahead and put your phone number in the questions or chat box, and we'll share it out to you so you can have access.
Yes. Yeah, good point. Yeah, so over the GoToMeeting, technically you're seeing a picture through a picture since I'm just sharing my screen. So yeah, great. Thanks for bringing it up, Cam. If you want to see the true video quality that Verkada is capable of and how quickly a live link will get to you, go ahead and add your phone number to the chat, and we'll get the live link over to you towards the end of the webinar. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So this use case for live link sharing, we see a lot of schools, hospitals, businesses integrating this very feature into their emergency preparedness drills. So as teachers and staff are instructed to line up with their students and employees outside, they're then instructed to send live links or through text message or email to the appropriate authorities. That way, those folks have the advantage that they need before they even arrive on site, so they know where to enter the building, where the active security threat exists, and how to move forward. So good for emergency situations, also great for non-emergency situations. You can embed a live link of a Verkada camera into your website, for example. So schools use this to broadcast things like graduation ceremonies, sporting events, recitals. Cities and towns will use it to broadcast things like parades or marathons or the beautiful sunset or town hall. So people certainly get pretty creative with that feature. We actually work with the Golden Gate Bridge and Highway Transit District, where they put Verkada cameras in their new website. So I'll love this again, but all along not only the Golden Gate Bridge, but also on the ferries that go up and down the bay. So here's an example of a Verkada camera embedded in a website more for marketing purposes. You can see it's a kind of a foggy day, but might be a good time to bike or walk across the Golden Gate Bridge. It's not too crowded. And then jumping into the back end of this camera, you can set up motion alerts. So not only can your Verkada system act as a video surveillance solution, but also as a digital alarm solution. And what I mean by that, this is what it looks like when it's turned off. I'll go ahead and enable it. And you can have the camera filter by people or vehicles. So if you don't want it to get any false positives, just select a filter. And let's say during different days of the week, different time parameters, I want to know anytime there's someone in a certain part of my building, go ahead and hit apply. And what will happen if human movement breaks these grids during these days and times that you've set up is you'll receive an alert in real time through text or email saying, hey, you'll follow the link to that clip and you can see who it was, what they were doing, and respond accordingly. And then the audit log, this is just shows you the time, the user, the event, who's accessing the system when. And then device, you can enable camera audio for playback. The default is that it is turned off just because depending on the industry and the state, there are certainly laws against recording people in public. So the default is that it is turned off, but if you wanted to turn that on, it's really easy to do on a per camera basis. And then I'm going to jump over to our my favorite feature of Verkada, people analytics and face search. So I go ahead and click into all results. Right now, it'll pull up results across all of my cameras and all of my sites here. So you can specify this, say I only wanted to look at my kitchen cameras, or if I only wanted it to look at a set specific time of a few days or several weeks. You can set the time range. Right now, it'll look across all stored days. And then you can also filter the videos, because oftentimes if someone's been reported, there's a suspicious character on campus or at one of your locations, and you want to see if this person, what they've, where they've been, if they've been on your premises before. So how do you filter the video without having to spend hours or days doing it? So we've designed Verkada cameras to do all of that filtering for you. It's advanced analytics and machine learning. So you can actually set a few things. I'll just pick some random things here. We'll do red shirt and blue pants, appear male, and hit apply. And it'll find every time that someone that fit that description is spotted across all my cameras and all of my sites here at Verkada headquarters. And let's say based on that filtering, I was able to identify, you know what, this person doesn't look familiar to me. I'm going to take this a level deeper. You can go ahead and click into all faces. And what this will do is it'll pull up all the hyper zoomed in snapshots of all the unique faces captured by the Verkada camera. So I'll give this a second to load. But if you select a face, the camera will filter the video for every time that that unique face is spotted across all of your cameras and all of your sites. So we have some construction going on next door, so it'll pick up some of those examples. Give us another second. Let's pick on, a lot of these are people out in the street. Let's do Tamara. So this is Tamara. I know she's been in the office lately, so I'm going to pick on her face. But here's every time that she specifically was spotted across all my cameras and all of my sites. So pretty powerful. And where we're going with this feature is taking this a level deeper as well. So soon you can actually build a database of faces. So if there is a specific person that you'd like to welcome to your location, maybe it's a VIP person, or maybe this is a person that should never be in or around your business, your school for whatever reason, and you want to receive alerts for if and when that person is spotted. So you upload that photo of that face and you can build that database and receive alerts for if and when that person is seen. So I'll show you an example. If you wanted to upload a photo, I have a photo of my buddy Scott Miller. This is just a photo from his LinkedIn profile. And if I upload that picture of him, it'll still match the right person to the right face. Let me give it a second. Our last day in the office was March 12th, so it'll pull, I think that'll probably be the most recent photo of him. There we go. Yep, March 12th. So everyone's taking their monitors home, getting packed up. But yeah, here's every time Scott was spotted across all of our cameras and all of the sites at our headquarters. And then next, I'm going to jump over to vehicle analytics. So similar to how you can filter video based on the physical description of a person, you can do that based on a date range, based on a site, and also based on the make, body, and color of a car. So I'll just click an example. I'll do a truck, and we'll try Ford. Oh, I don't think it caught the Ford part. Ford. There we go. All right, let me try that again. All results, trucks, and Ford, and white, apply. There we go. So we'll pull up a lot of results. And then if we jump over to the profile, here's where you can set up notifications for tampering events, camera going offline, or if there's motion detected by the camera in the back end. And then how when it comes to adding users and groups, it's just a matter of typing in the email address of the user that you'd like to add. So I'll show you an example. Let's go back to users and groups. Oh, sorry, I keep clicking the wrong thing. Okay, I'll pick on Adam Knudsen. So he's in our sales group, and these are all of the sites that Adam, as a user, has access to. So you can customize these, make him a site admin, a site viewer, or a live-only viewer, or give him no access to the site if you'd like to. And then we do also have a viewing station product. This is another thing that you can remotely manage. So I'm demoing off of my laptop. So my laptop doesn't have the processing power to live stream all of these camera feeds at once. What's neat is you can move these around. So wherever this video wall is located, you can customize what that end user in that location is seeing. So if you don't want to provision that user access to the system, you just want to put it in a receptionist desk or a security room, you can do that. And what the viewing station looks like, it's actually a separate hardware product, but it looks like this. And we have an example in our office, and the back section of our office here. We'll zoom in a little bit, but this is 8 viewing stations all right next to each other. So great way to see what's going on across your whole building. It can live stream up to 36 camera feeds at once, so it has a really high processing power. You can do that across up to 5 pages. So 36 times 5, that's 180 cameras on a single viewing station. And then I think that's everything I wanted to show you guys from a demonstration perspective, but I will let the floor open up to questions.
You want to, Lauren, if you want to jump back in the presentation.
To the slide, yes. And then I'll go over this part, Cam.
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay, sure, so I'll go ahead and hit present. So just to kind of recap everything that we went over during the demonstration, why customers love Verkada. So number one, it's easy. There's no more on-prem server to worry about, no more NVRs or DVRs. It's literally just the camera. It's just Cat5 or Cat6 cabling and a PoE-enabled switch or a PoE injector. A very easy to use interface, super intuitive as you saw from the demo. Automatic firmware updates. So anytime our system comes out with a new feature or functionality, it's pushed out automatically to our entire customer base for free. So you're constantly going to get the latest and greatest that we have to offer from a feature and functionality perspective, more or less future-proofing your investment, and your system will literally get better and better and more valuable with time, which is awesome. You can't say that about many security camera systems out there. It's also really easy to manage user access. We tie in with all Active Directory and single sign-on solutions like Okta, OneLogin, Microsoft Azure, Duo, you name it, we integrate with it. So it's really easy to provision access and make sure that's secure end to end. And then number two, the system is smart. So those automatic alerts for any sort of tampering event, camera going offline, or motion alerts. Of course, you can share live video or historic clip if you needed to send out an archive video as well. And that's unique to Verkada in the sense that you can do that instantly through text or email. We also have an exciting product roadmap. So things like the ability to build a database of faces. That's something we'll be releasing in about 6 or 7 weeks from now. So we're all really excited for that. And then number three, the scalability. So extremely low when it comes to bandwidth consumption. It operates at anywhere from 20 kilobits per second per camera in the steady state. And then it's limitlessly scalable. There's no minimum with Verkada. You can certainly start with just one and scale as you grow, building by building, location by location. But we also have customers that have deployed thousands of Verkada cameras across hundreds of sites all over the world. And then this is probably the most impressive and important thing on this whole slide is the fact that we have a 10-year product warranty. That's no questions asked. For the next 10 years, we will drop ship our customers a brand new camera if anything happened to the original, which, compared to traditional systems, you might get a 1-year warranty for outdoor and a 3-year warranty for indoor. But with Verkada, every single hardware product has our 10-year warranty. We really stand by our product and the durability of the system. So we warranty our hardware, so the camera hardware, the viewing station, and our door access control system will also have a 10-year warranty as well. And that's all from me. I'll go over the free trial as well. So we're all about, don't take our word for it. Speak with our existing customers in your area. Get your hands on the technology. It's usually a 30-day trial, but in light of COVID-19, we're expanding that. So it's up to 90 days. So you have plenty of time to evaluate. You'll have, brand new cameras, one or multiple. If you want to test out a couple models, we're happy to send out a couple options. We pay the shipping and handling there and back if you want to send it back to us. So it's completely risk-free. You'll have full access to the command platform that we all just went through. You can provision Verkada to an unlimited number of users. Archiving, of course, is also unlimited. There's no additional charge associated with that. And then our US-based support team. So if you do have any questions or issues, you'll always have my direct contact information, but we also have a US-based support team that can help with, any troubleshooting. You can contact them through phone, email, or live chat within Verkada. And if you are interested in getting a free trial camera or multiple cameras, email sales@pinecc.com. That's Pine Cove's sales alias, so sales@pinecc.com.
Perfect. I've got a few notes coming in through the questions panel. Maybe I'll just field those now. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, the first one isn't so much a question, but I thought it was kind of funny. Have you ever seen the show on Netflix, Person of Interest?
Yeah.
I haven't, but someone has asked me that before.
One of the
I need
people
to see it.
one of the people on the
I'll
webinar,
add that tonight.
he just said that Verkada is basically like one of the main plots in that show, which is funny. I just finished watching it recently. We had another comment come in from Meridian Library, who's on this webinar, and they said, please feel free to drop Meridian Library's name. We love Verkada. So.
Oh, I know who that is. Hi, Jason.
One other question that came through, Jason says hi. One of the other questions that came through says, are any of the cameras PTZ?
Oh, that is a great question. So we do not manufacture a PTZ camera, and there are a few reasons for that, because we did look into making one at one point. But based on our market research and everything that our product and engineering team looked into, is that with PTZ cameras, there's a lot of moving parts, right? So they break a lot. We wouldn't be able to warranty a PTZ camera for 10 years like we are able to for the rest of our system. And with PTZ, there can be a lot of user error as well, where if someone zooms in on a specific part, they may forget to zoom back out. So if you're zoomed in on a specific section, it's not going to be capturing the entirety of the field of view. So what we're seeing the market moving more towards is less towards PTZ and more towards a camera that has a wider field of view and is higher resolution. So it's recording the entire field at any given time. So you'll never miss any footage. It's always recording. But what you can do is digitally zoom in. So it's kind of like a digital PTZ, where you can digitally zoom into certain parts of the screen and not lose any resolution. It doesn't get pixelated. But we do offer varifocal lens cameras where you can use an optical zoom and remotely zoom in on an object or something at a distance if you needed to do that too. But short answer, no PTZ cameras, and I don't think we're working on it right now. So we're moving more towards, we just came out with a 4K camera, and it has a really wide field of view. So that's they were actually on back order. They're really popular. So they're back shipping again. So that's our answer for PTZ cameras.
Okay.
But great question. Yeah.
So another question just came in. Do you price cameras on a per camera basis, or how does pricing work? And probably we can answer that question on a more personal basis, but maybe you just want to give an introduction to how that works in general.
Sure. Yeah. I'll go over the cost structure and everything. So the two things you'd ever see on a Verkada quote would be one, the camera hardware itself, right? That's a one-time cost. You own that piece of equipment forever. We warranty the camera hardware for the next 10 years. So you can't expect to pay another penny on cameras for at least a 10-year period. The only renewing cost you'd see would depend on which licensing term length we go with. So we have 1, 3, 5, and 10-year options for the license associated with the camera. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you need 10 cameras, you'll need 10 licenses. And if you go with a 5-year license, you'll need to and you buy in 2020, you'll renew the licensing portion only in the year 2025. And all of our MSRP pricing is available on our website, but we work 100% through the channel. So we have special set aside discounts for Pine Cove Consulting. And certainly depending on industry, depending on the bulk size of your order, we can get creative and flexible with the specific discounts and pricing per customer with the help of Pine Cove.
Perfect. If anyone else has any questions, feel free to put them in. As a reminder, we will be emailing this out. So if there's people you want to share the recording with, hopefully we can get that done today, probably by tomorrow latest. And then if you have any questions in particular, unique to your situation, you can reply to that email, or you can email us at sales@pinecc.com, and we'll get in touch with you then. I'm not seeing any more questions right now, so maybe that's where we end it. That was great information. Really appreciate you both coming on and sharing this, and it's amazing stuff.
Yeah, thank you everyone for your attention during this, and we'll follow up and make sure you guys all get your Yeti or Uber Eats gift card, and we'll run the raffle as well.
Yeah, I think expect an email from Verkada for those giveaways, and then expect an email from Pine Cove for the recording, and that should be soon. So thanks everyone for coming, and
Cool.
remember, next month we've got another webinar coming up, so keep an eye on your email for that, and we'll talk to everyone later.
Cool.
Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, team.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, guys. Stay safe and healthy out there.